Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes not corn, and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium. His record pure gold, his courage pure radium. H is for Hornsby, when pitching to Raj. The pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for LaHoy, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mack. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl wore a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, close to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of 2 X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Ash, January 1949, Sport Magazine. Lineup for Braves Country by D.M. McGee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavine. Southpaw whines and kicks. changing speeds east and west, a gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright, the father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play, Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones, Andrew let her fly, and his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts, a plenty from Strider, the quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez, Javi to B-Mac, Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog, he won 355, could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro, he got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis, old Nixon could fly, the catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P's still for Peterson, we were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking, the top pitcher's lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy, the big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler, Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren, Skip Carey 2, Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren, Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby, and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young, the game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Rama-Lama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying, it felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee, to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee, 2024. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for pitch by pitch, play by play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Join the Country Club today. The first month is free. You'll have access to badges, one-of-a-kind emojis to display your Braves pride throughout the ball game. You'll also get instant access to our video drops. Members only chat, wallpapers, and more is on the way. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today.
You're in Braves Country.
Welcome in Braves Country today, as we are getting set for pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Quick look at the lineup there. We'll go over it here in 1 second, as it is Bryce Elder Day. Bryce Elder is back, baby. He is back. It's good to see him back. I'm glad to see that he's going to get his shot at this fifth spot. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if it's. I still have a funny feeling they are managing all of these number 5 guys because they are doing an overall management of the entire rotation. And what I mean by that, I talked about this the past weekend. So if you were tuning in, kind of alluded to this, that I expected Ronaldo Lopez. I'm just going to start calling him Mr. Tuesday. He's our Tuesday starter because he has pitched every time this year on Tuesday. He did it in the first turn. He did it in the second turn. Every if you think about it, every single week this year, including his debut in Chicago, it's all been on Tuesdays. And he would have been set if you were doing a normal rotation, he would have pitched tonight. He was expected to pitch tonight. That's what they had out there all weekend long. You know that he knew better because they have to tell these guys in advance, right? And they waited until after last night's game. It had nothing to do with Darius Vines getting pounded. Darius Vines was not going to pitch again this week. They were getting him to Sunday and have Elder set up for Monday. That did not happen in the middle or at the end of the game last night. That was something that they already had planned. And so they get him through his 2 starts. It builds an extra day off for everybody, and away we go. We will get that again this week. Bryce Elder will pitch Monday, and assuming everything, weather and health assumed, he'll pitch again on Sunday. And you'll get Ronaldo Lopez on Tuesday. You'll get Max Fried on Wednesday. We have an off day again on Thursday. And then you're going to end up with the weekend will be Chris Sale, Charlie Morton, and then Bryce Elder is what it should end up being. It's what it should end up being. So if something changes because of health or weather, meaning a rain out or whatnot, okay, yeah, sure. But this is the plan. I think it's the plan for the foreseeable future. I don't think we're going to get a situation where they try. I'll put it to you this way. If you play fantasy baseball and you're looking for 2-start pitchers, the only way that's happening is if you pick up a guy who showed up here on Monday, like this week, or if there's a 7-game week for the Braves, and they have some coming up. But other than that, a regular 6-game week, this is what you're going to get. And I also believe that you're probably going to get on a 5-game week, and we've got one of those coming up early next month where we play the Red Sox on Tuesday, Wednesday. We're off Monday and Thursday. You're probably going to get someone skipped in the rotation because it's all about the end. The Braves know that if they continue to play as well as they are, they've got the best record in the National League, tied with Milwaukee. They're a game behind, but in the loss column, they're tied for the best record in baseball. That team, by the way, is coming to Atlanta this weekend in the form of the Cleveland Guardians, as they're now known. But Atlanta's going to keep chugging along. They know they've got the talent. Even if Philadelphia outlasts them and wins the division, whatever. The Braves know that if they can keep everybody healthy, they're going to be in the postseason. And so that's the goal. That's the goal, is to get to the postseason and get them healthy and not go stumbling in like we have the last few years where you got Charlie Morton with the sprained finger. Who knows if that's got anything to do with him not getting an extra day off here and there? Probably not, but what the hell? Who knows? You've got Chris Sale, who has been an injury-ridden pitcher for the last few years. You've got Max Fried, who we got to get him going. But tonight it's all about Bryce Elder and what he brings. We're going to face Ryan Weathers. He's a left-hander. He's a pretty solid left-hander. He's a guy that I think big picture, the Marlins really had more deep for the bullpen, but the Marlins have been hit hard with a lot of season-ending injuries with the rotation. Mainly Yuri Perez and Edward Cabrera just came off the IL. And they've had some other injuries that they just Sandy Alcantara, right? So this is not the Marlins starting rotation that they expected to have. And remember the kid that beat us, Braxton Garrett? They sent him down. They sent him down right after the Braves series in a bit of a head scratching move. And what I read, if it's accurate, they said they're going to keep him around 3 innings in the minor leagues. Same thing that they're doing with A.J. Smith-Shawver for the Braves, by the way. And they're going to do that for a while and then eventually bring him back. Now, Garrett, there's been rumors he could pop back into the series, but most likely he could, in theory, pitch on Wednesday because it would line up numbers-wise. But most believe that he is being sent down there for the long term because they're trying to save his innings. They're trying to get him to – so – they're dealing with a lot of the stuff that the Braves are dealing with. Yuri Perez and Sandy Alcantara, whether you follow the Marlins or not, it's just as devastating as the Spencer Strider. Actually, it's more devastating. A, there's two of them, and B, they are built around their rotation. The Marlins really didn't sink a whole lot of money into their lineup. So there you have that. Getting ready for first pitch. And let me see if we got any comments here in the chat here. Gary says, hope Bryce has his stuff together. Look, I'm not worried about Bryce, honest engine. I think he'll come out there, he'll eat some innings, and he'll be probably something closer to what we saw at the beginning of last year. Remember, he made his debut the end of 2022 against these same Marlins. It was the day after we caught the Mets, and everyone was just, there was that hangover. The Braves lost, but Bryce pitched well. So I expect him to go out and pitch another good game again tonight. They don't need him to do a whole hell of a lot. They need him to go 5, hopefully 6, in a perfect world, 7 innings. Keep it as we always talk about. If you can get anywhere close to a quality start, this offense can do the rest. Quality start meaning 6 innings, 3 earned runs. If you can get anywhere close to that, this offense can do the rest. And the Braves have continued to hit left-handed pitching. And Marcell Ozuna, once again, is just he's carrying this offense. Well, it's time for the other guys to step up. Marcell Ozuna can't do it every damn night. Baseball's too hard. You can't do it every night. And so Austin Riley looking at you specifically tonight against the left-hander. But Matt Olson, big picture, he's got to start coming through. Not really worried about it. It's a long season. We're just a few weeks in. What are we, 3 weeks into the season? But even still, you got to have these guys start producing, because you don't want to see some long slump. I believe Olson is something like 1 for 19 or 1 for 20. He struck out 10 times. One for his last 20, 1 for his last 19. It was somewhere in that neighborhood, and is struck out his last times. Austin Riley isn't playing much better. He really isn't. I don't know what Jesse's referring to. Red, he finished last year. I don't know. It's a word salad that didn't make a whole lot of sense. But Bryce is a guy that was dominant in the first part of the season. And we've talked about this all off season. So those of y'all who follow the channel know, but for the noobs, he was a guy that dominated all first part of the season. And then he hit a wall. There's no doubt about it. Anytime a guy gets that many innings on an arm for the first time ever, and it was by far the most he's ever thrown in his life in a season. He ran out of gas. The problem was the Braves didn't have anyone to go. They didn't have the ability to send him down and give him some rest, kind of like what we're doing with Darius Vines right now. That's not why Vines is being sent down, but you get the point. You didn't have it, because to do that, you were absolutely going to have to, back in last year, who were you going to put in? Michael Soroka wasn't worth a damn. White Sox are learning the hard way on that one. Kyle Wright was hurt. Max Fried was hurt. So everything that happened to Bryce Elder in the entire season isn't really all on Bryce Elder. They never expected him to throw that many innings. He gutted it out. He gave him their best effort. And that's why you're not seeing AJ. I've seen a lot of people talk about this on social media. Why is AJ Smith-Shawver not getting a shot? Because they don't want the same thing to happen to him. They don't want him to hit a wall. So that's going to be the key tonight. Pick to click. I think the easy low-hanging fruit would be Marcell Ozuna. I'm going to go to the well one more time with the left-hander on the mound. Give me Austin Riley. Give me Austin Riley to click. He's got to start. You're hitting number 3 in the best offense in baseball. He's got to start coming through, right? And final score, I think we'll get to him. I think we'll put about 6 on the board. I expect Bryce Elder to pitch well. I'll say Bryce and the boys, 6-3 your winner. 6-3 your winner. And let's go get them. Real quick, by the way, Philadelphia leads Cincinnati 1-0. We'll be back in a flash and for roll call and all that stuff. And you've been locked in here on Braves Country Baseball, pitch by pitch, play by play. If you're Atlanta Braves, let's squish the fish. I hate when they play Miami. I'll talk more about that on the way. But Miami's probably my least favorite team that they play. It's got nothing to do with the Marlins. It's not the Marlins' fault. We'll be back in a flash.
Like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes, and the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry,
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lam, ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-1 lead. She's gone, baby.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Reed. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball!
On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and playing second base for the Miami Marlins, it's Luis Arias, batting .277 and 3 RBI. Brian De La Cruz is the designated hitter, batting second with 5 home runs, 14 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .274. Jazz Chisholm, batting third, playing center, 2 home runs, 11 RBI, 4 stolen base, a .244 average. Josh Bell is the first baseman and batting cleanup, coming in at a 200 clip with 3 home runs, 9 RBI. Jesus Sanchez is in right field, 1 home run, 8 RBI, 4 stolen base, batting .216. Tim Anderson, the shortstop, batting .250 with 4 RBI, 2 stolen bases. Gordon is in left field with 3 home runs, 12 RBI, and a .213 average. Rivera will be manning third. He is 8 for 37 on the year, 2 RBI, 1 stolen base. Nick Fortes is behind home plate and batting ninth, a .125 average with 1 RBI. On the mound for the Miami Marlins, it's Ryan Weathers. He comes in 2-1, a 2.7 ERA, 1.35 whip, 20 innings pitched, 18 hits allowed, 22 strikeouts, 9 walks, and 2 home runs given up. He'll be going head-to-head with Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder was a 2023 National League All-Star. He was 12-4 on the year with a 3.81 ERA, 128 strikeouts, and a 1.28 whip. Bryce will be backed up at the bottom of the first inning with your Atlanta Braves. Leading off, it'll be Ronald Acuna Jr. Ronnie is batting .299, 1 home run, 6 RBI, 9 stolen bases. Orlando Arcia batting second, playing short. Batting .329, 1 home run, 8 RBI. Austin Riley batting third, playing third. 2 home runs, 13 RBI, and a .259 average. Matt Olson Playing first and batting cleanup for your Atlanta Braves. He has 3 home runs, 13 RBI, a .231 average. Marcell Ozuna is the designated hitter. He comes in with a .338 clip, 9 home runs, and 27 RBI. Back behind home plate and batting 6th, it's Travis d'Arnaud. He has 4 home runs, all came over the weekend, 12 RBI, and a .255 average. Playing left and batting 7th, it's Adam Duvall. Adam has 1 home run, 6 RBI, batting .200. Batting 8th and patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Michael Harris II. Money Mike has 3 home runs, 10 RBI, and a .298 average. And playing second base, it's David Fletcher. He is 0 for 3 on the season. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate, it's James Hoy. First base umpire, Robert Drake. Second base will be manned by Jonathan Parra, and down the third base line, it's John Libka. Braves come in 14-6 on the season, 6-3 at home. Marlins are 6-17 and 4-6 on the road. Atlanta Braves are minus 200 on the money line. The over-under is 8.5. Your Atlanta Braves have a 1-game lead in the NL East over the Philadelphia Phillies, 2.5 over the Mets, 4.5 over Washington, and 9.5 over Miami. Atlanta Braves currently have the best record in the National League, tied with the Brewers at 14-6, trailing the best record in baseball of the Cleveland Indians by 1 game. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Marlins, game 1 of a 3-game series against the NL East rivals. It's time to squish the fish, Braves country, and welcome back Bryce Elder. Special thanks to the Country Club. If you haven't already, join today. Get your game face on, Braves country.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Braves country. Time for a little bit of roll call. Let's go ahead and get into it as we are set just about a couple of minutes away from pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. If I miss anybody, jump into the chat. We also love to hear where you're from. Good evening, Country Club members. We've got David. We've got Billy Power, Gary, Nathaniel, and Robert. Good evening, Country Club members. Very much appreciated to help grow the channel. Also, good evening to Jason, Jesse, Jeremy, Daniel, Scooby, AY, Edward, and Veronica. And hey, there's Joseph as well. So we are just about set on pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. And talked about this in the pregame show. If you're not tuned into the pregame show, we come on about a half hour before first pitch. Only time we would come on much earlier than that is if there was a really big story to talk about. Now, obviously, Bryce Elder coming back is a pretty big story, but I'm talking about like a bad injury, a big trade, et cetera, et cetera. If that were the case, you'd see us closer to that 6:30 mark. But other than that, normally about a half hour before first pitch to get everything in. We don't want to drone on. And I'm not putting anyone else down, but I have seen some of these pregame shows on television and radio, and it's usually 95% fluff and commercials and 5% of, all right, this is what we're looking at tonight. And we try to do the opposite. Atlanta Braves are going to be wearing their white home gear, their classic whites top to bottom, and Braves across the chest in red, tomahawk in red outlined in navy, gold in the tomahawk, and on the back you'll have the numerals in navy up top. The Braves are wearing their navy ball caps with the classic red bill and the A across the front. They'll be facing the Miami Marlins, who are in their road gear tonight, and thankfully it's not their City Connect. Any Marlins fans, sorry but not sorry. Those things are terrible. If you're looking in the defense tonight across the board, it'll be Travis d'Arnaud behind home plate, and left to right around the horn, it's Riley, Arcia, Fletcher, David Fletcher, and Olson. You'll probably hear me call him Fletch a lot. And in the outfield, left to right, it's Duvall, Harris, and Acuna. We're just about set for that first pitch. The Marlins, when they come up, left to right in the outfield, it's Gordon, Jazz Chisholm, and Jesus Sanchez. On the infield, Fortes behind the plate, Weathers on the bump, and you've got Rivera, Anderson, Tim Anderson, Arias, and Bell. And I thought of something pretty funny that it really didn't hit me until right before game time here a few minutes ago. We are playing the Marlins, and the next team that comes into Atlanta is Cleveland. Well, Jose Ramirez of Cleveland is the one that jaw-dropped Tim Anderson last year. So I'd say Tim Anderson's going to be ready to get on that plane and get the hell out of town Wednesday night. First pitch on the way from Bryce Elder is down and low to Luis Arias, the leadoff hitter. And yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves country. 0-0 your score. The 1-0 pitch floats a sinker in there, gets underneath it, slaps it out into the outfield. And Luis Arias special, it's a leadoff single for the Miami Marlins. So we got other people jumping in here. We've got Timothy, good evening, and it looks like we've got Raymond and D. So 1 on, nobody out. Arias gave Olson a big hug at first. I don't know why that is, but I don't know if they're good friends. Never heard that before. First pitch on the way to the right-handed bat of De La Cruz is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch just misses down and away. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. The 1-1 from Elder. Kicks and fires. Swing, and that ball slapped into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And they've got runners on first and second. Nobody out. And the heart of the order due up. So just what the doctor did not order, Bryce Elder gives up 2 base hits to start the game. 94-mile-an-hour sinker that he just kind of slaps on the outer edge. Neither ball was hit very hard, but both balls fall in for the base hit. There we go. The first pitch on the way to Jazz Chisholm is deep, and that ball's going to skate off the top of the wall, and here comes Arias. Arias comes home to score. No, Arias got cooked at home plate. I'm not sure what happened there. We're going to have to look at the replay because Arias should have either scored. I think he was stopping at third. To be honest with you, I think he was stopping at third. So the ball goes off the wall. Arias may have thought it was a home run, but Arias got stuck in no man's land. Here's another look. He started to go home. I think he got held up. That's the only thing that makes sense is that he was being held up by the third base coach. That was a weird play. First pitch on the way to Josh Bell is swung on and swatted foul down the line. It's 0-1. So he's standing on second. The ball goes off the wall in right field, almost goes out of the yard. Jazz Chisholm smoked that ball. And when it comes off the wall, it caroms just to the right of the opening towards the bullpen is the 0-1 pitch. Swing! And that ball's popped up high into center field, coming in, making the catches, Money Mike. He'll fire it home, and leaping catch by Travis d'Arnaud. Man, oh man alive. Jesus Sanchez had no intentions of heading home, and it was a high throw by Money Mike. Thankfully, d'Arnaud was able to leap and make the catch. If not, that ball goes to the backstop, and Sanchez probably scores. But back to that play, it was really odd. He's in the dugout trying to explain to it. I think what happened was when the ball got hit high, he was holding up, and being held up by his third base coach. By the time he comes around, the Sanchez who's on first, he's hauling butt. So he's forcing Arias to come home. And so he either has to go home or there's going to be a forced play there anyways, because you can't have two runners on the same base. So he was kind of stuck in no man's land. The 0-1 pitch is swung on, popped up high in the sky, can of corn, and the Braves are going to come out of that unscathed. Catch by Duvall in shallow left field, gets out of the inning. Elder hit hard, but nothing to show for it by Miami. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
I have had so many NFL players hit my DMs.
So I've been seeing a lot of reaction to this video, and it's pretty up what you guys have been saying. As one of the NFL players, like, I can confirm, I've been reaching out to her. We've had a lot of injuries on the O-line, and we could use a left tackle right now.
Do y'all remember those cars? I don't think they make them anymore, but when I was a kid, they had those cars that you had to blow on the machine, like, to power it. It wasn't like push to start, or it wasn't like an electric vehicle, but it was like a blow to start. It was like, and then it would start. You guys remember those? Because I remember in my neighborhood, there's this guy that had one of those cars. I don't know why he bought this type of car, because he could never start it. He would always ask me to start it for him. And I don't know how. I was like 6 years old, and I would always get on the first try when the car would start. Do you guys remember those cars? I don't know if it was like a Tesla back in the day. I don't think they made Teslas, but high tech. Now they don't make those. If you had one of those, please let me know what happened to those cars.
My favorite Met story is about their shortstop, Elio Chacon, who was eager but not very talented, and kept running into the outfield and knocking down Richie Ashburn as he was about to catch a fly ball. And he didn't speak any English, and so somebody, Joe Christopher, went to him and tried to explain this. And then he went to Richie Ashburn. He said, if you're going to catch a fly ball, said, and you see Chacon coming out, what you want to say is, yo la tengo, I've got it. And then I've told him, and he'll pull up. So Richie practiced. He said, yo la tengo. And game came along, and the situation was a fly ball. He looked up for the fly ball. Chacon rushed out for him. Richie said, yo la tengo, and put his hands up, and he was knocked flat by Frank Thomas, his left fielder. That was the Mets.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way from the left-hander. Weathers to Acuna. Floats a sweeper in there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Inside. Fastball misses 1-1. 95 miles an hour. So a 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Inside almost gets him. Goes to the backstop. Believe that was that sweeper again. We'll do it again. Strange start to the game if you're just joining us. Really wild play where Miami should have scored at least one run and scored none, as bad base running essentially did him in. I want to say a lot of it had to do with the third base coach as well. The 2-1 pitch misses high and out of the zone, 97 miles an hour, 3-1. So a 3-1 count. Pitch on the way from Weathers. The lefty fires, misses outside, but called for a wide strike. Acuna doesn't like it, can't say I blame him. Full count. So a full count from Weathers, kicks and fires, swing, and that ball's belted into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit, and your Atlanta Braves are on, nobody out. Ronald Acuna Jr. setting the tone for the night. of hitting by Ronnie. Hung one in there. That'll bring Orlando Arcia to the plate. Arcia takes the first ball that misses outside 95 miles an hour. It's 1-0. That ball was right there, the same spot that they called strike 2 on Ronnie. The 1-0 pitch. Weathers flips it over to first. Pickoff move. Not the best pickoff move, but most of these lefties have a secondary pickoff move that they'll go to on the second try over there, just trying to kind of setting you up. Almost like a great boxer with the jab, and then they try to come in through the uppercut when you're not paying attention. The 1-0 pitch. Ronnie's going. The throw is up in the zone, 94 miles an hour, and Ronald Acuna Jr. Bingo! Ronald Acuna Jr., 190 steals, most in Atlanta Braves history, already in his young career. Pitch on the way to Arcia, swung on, grounded hard over the short, not where he wanted to hit it. It's going to be a 6-3 put out, and Acuna cannot advance. Arcia pulling that ball. That is the last thing that you wanted to see, was Arcia going to the left side of the infield. Anything else gets Acuna over to first. So that'll bring Austin Riley to the plate. Austin Riley takes the first pitch, sweeper down inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Braves nothing, Marlins nothing. Bottom of the first. The 1-0. Lefty-righty pitch. Way outside wide, 2-0. You caught the game last night, so we're doing the good, bad, and ugly at the beginning of these series from the previous series. The good was obviously Travis d'Arnaud. He was the hero of the weekend. Travis d'Arnaud gets the good. The bad, not only is the 2-0 pitch swing and a miss up top, it's 2-1. Not only are you going to give the bad to Darius Vines and Matzik, just a bad night on the mound last night, but the ugly is the 2-1 pitch, way outside wide, 3-1. Last night, if you're catching the game, bottom of the eighth, the Braves are down 6-4, runners on the corners, no outs, and Riley and Olsen both spit the bit. And in that situation, is the 3-1, just misses high, might have grabbed the corner, didn't get the call, and Austin Riley will head on down to first. Weathers might have been pitching around Austin with the left-hander on deck. And in that situation last night, bottom of the eighth, 2 outs. No outs. 2 on, runners on the corners. You're down 6-4. You've got to at least find a way to get that runner home from third. Make it a 1-run game, bare minimum going into the ninth, and it gives you a puncher's chance. Matt Olson comes to the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup. The first pitch on the way. Fastball right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. Riley's the main one you point to because with nobody out, even a double play gets that run home. The 0-1. Outside wide, ball gets away. Squirts away. Acuna's going to stay put at second, so Riley will do the same at first. Braves nothing, Marlins nothing. Bottom of the first inning, just getting going here in Hotlanta. Olsen comes in with a 231 average. The 1-1 pitch swung on, grounded over to first. Only play is going to be grounded over to third, excuse me. Only play is going to be to first. It's going to be a 5-3 putout, 2 away. The runners do move up for Marcell Ozuna to come to the plate. You wonder if they may take the bat out of Marcel's hand. You get probably the 2 hottest guys in the National League over the weekend going 5-6 right here, so probably not. The first pitch on the way to Ozuna, 97 up top. It's 0-1. The 0-1 lefty-righty. Runners on second and third. 2 outs. The pitch. 98 up top inside. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Ozuna didn't like it. He's going to call the timeout. According to the pitch track on the screen, both of them look like strikes. Very borderline, but they look like strikes. Same token, if Marcel swings at that pitch, it's going to be a pop-out, so good take by Ozuna. The 0-2 pitch, outside wide, try to get him to chase the change off the plate, 1-2. That's how you know Marcel's seeing the ball well. When he's not seeing the ball well, he'll chase the slow stuff off the plate. The 1-2 pitch, Weathers comes set, pitch on the way, swing, and that ball's fisted deep into the hole, making a acrobatic play from short. It's going to be a 6-3 putout. Tim Anderson. Nifty play, and we got a player down. Looks like, is that the hind catcher, Nick Fortes? Not sure what happened. We'll be back in a flash. They're heading to commercial. We'll figure it out. I don't know if, I hope Ozuna didn't get him with that follow through. That's been a problem in the past.
How much is the rent for this beautiful apartment?
Ma'am, you're in a liquor store.
Quick story about Marcus Mariota. You know, people ask me about him all the time, and he's such a great player, but his best attribute is how quick-witted he is. People don't know this, but his freshman year, he worked at a grocery store in town to kind of pay the extra bills. And he was at the register one day, and this great big woman comes in, and she said, "I'd like to buy a half a head of lettuce." And he kind of looked at her funny, said, "We don't sell half heads, only whole heads." And she got all mad. So he walked into the back to ask the manager what he should do, and he said, "Hey, I got this great big fat woman out here that wants to buy a half a head of lettuce. What should I do?" And he didn't know it, but the woman had followed him back there. So he looks over his shoulder, and he sees her standing there, and he said, "And this lady wants to buy the other half." So the manager told him afterwards, the manager said, that was impressive. I can't believe you could think that quickly on your feet. And he goes, "That was nothing. I'm used to dealing with stuff like that." He goes, "I'm from Honolulu. There's 2 things we have in Honolulu. It's great football and fat women." And the manager said, "My wife's from Honolulu." And he said, "Well, what position does she play?"
Armchair.
In the 1906 World Series, the Cubs were heavily favored to beat their crosstown rivals, the Chicago White Sox, called the Hitless Wonders because the team averaged just .230 and hit only 7 home runs all season. But no one had counted on the superb pitching of White Sox ace Ed Walsh, master of the spitball.
Big Ed Walsh? Oh, brother. You talk about spitballs. I think that the ball disintegrated and got back together when the catcher got hold of it. I think when it went past the plate, it was just spit going by.
Ed Walsh totally overpowered the Cubs. He pitched a masterful 2-hit shutout to win the 3rd game and then went on to win the 5th. The Hitless Wonders had won the World Series.
Welcome back. Nick Fortes looks like in the follow through, Ozuna may have gotten Fortes. Have to see a better angle of it, but that's been a problem in the past. So Ozuna might have to be prepared. The Marlins have been known to throw at people. Now, sometimes is the first pitch on the way from Bryce Elder is down and away, slider, swing and miss. It's 0-1. Try to look at the video real quick one more time. The 0-1, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. So yeah, he during the follow through, he smacked him as the 0-2 pitch down and away, tried to get him to chase that slider again, 1-2. He smacked him in the face mask, and that cut across Fortes' face. The 1-2 from Elder. Swing, and drags that foul into the dugout. We'll do it again. So Ozuna was in the dugout, by the way. They showed him, for those of y'all listening on radio, they showed him looking at the replay. I know he's gotten better at that over the years, but it has been an issue that has ticked off some catchers and some just teams overall. The 0-1, or excuse me, the 2-2. Sorry, I had the thing still pulled back. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Tim Anderson launched that bat. Good night, Irene. One away. He had no clue where that bat was going. So basically back-to-back at bats where one for the Braves and one for the Marlins lose control of their bats, but d'Arnaud didn't get hit with the bat. First pitch on the way to Gordon is a swing and a miss strike. Outside wide, it's 0-1. Braves nothing, Marlins nothing. The 0-1 pitch. Righty, lefty. Up inside, four-seam fastball, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Swing, and that ball is going to get dropped into center field. That's down for a base hit. 1 on, 1 out. Bryce Elder, a little bit of a rocky start to start the night. First pitch on the way is swung on, grounded over towards short. It's going to be a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. So just what the doctor ordered, a grounder, rolled over on that sinker, and that'll end the inning. When we come back, Darnaud, Duvall, and Harris come to the plate.
Any attempt to restrict drinking and driving here is viewed by some as downright undemocratic.
When a fella can't put in a hard day's work, put in 11, 12 hours a day, and then get in your truck and at least drink 1 or 2 beers.
They're making it laws where you can't drink when you want to. You have to wear a seatbelt when you're driving. And pretty soon we're going to be communist country.
Armchair.
One of the biggest scandals in baseball history is the throwing of the 1919 World Series by the Chicago White Sox. Even though all 8 players who were accused were acquitted in 1921, Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis handed down a lifetime ban that included the Hall of Fame. Shoeless Joe Jackson should be reinstated and put in the Hall of Fame. Reason number 1, his stats during the series. His 12 base hits set a series record that wasn't broken until 1964. He led both teams with a .375 batting average in the series. He committed no errors and threw out a runner at home plate. He also hit the only home run by either team in the series. Reason number 2, he never took any money. On 2 different occasions, he refused a $5,000 bribe even though it would have almost doubled his salary at the time. Reason number 3, he tried to tell White Sox owner Charles Comiskey, but Comiskey refused to meet him. Reason number 4, years after the scandal, the other 7 players confirmed that Jackson was never present at any of the meetings and his name was mentioned only to give them more credibility to the gamblers. Reason number 5, a lawyer manipulated him into signing a document he didn't fully understand. Jackson never learned to read or write, so there was no way he knew what he was signing at the time.
All tied up in the 8th, Mickey Mantle facing Preacher Roll. The Oklahoma kid parked it in the left field seats.
Watching it on TV in New York with Willie, Mickey, and the Duke, and the arguments on the corner, you know? And that was it.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Your Atlanta Braves, nothing. Miami Marlins, nothing. Talked about this earlier briefly right before we went to the break, the pregame. I hate when they play the Marlins. First pitch on the way to d'Arnaud is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The reason being we are technically in the Marlins broadcast range as the 1-0 swing and a miss over the top. It's 1-1. So we get blacked out, and I've got to do all this jumping through hoops to get the game so I can bring it to y'all. The 1-1 swing and a miss. It's 1-2. And it's not how I normally call the games, and it is an absolute you-know-what show. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, slice, foul, and out of play. We'll do it again. And what's even more aggravating is we're about 6-7 hours north of Miami. So it makes no sense that we're in their zone. I get it if they want to claim we're in Tampa's zone, but Miami, nowhere near it. The 1-2. Swung on and sliced foul, 97 up top. Man, Weathers is bringing it. We are, in theory, closer to Atlanta. So a 1-2 count from Weathers. Lefty-righty pitch on the way. Down and in. Good take by Travis. It was a changeup. Tried to get him to chase. Just missed the zone. Evens up the count at 2-2. The 2-2. Swung on. Grounded. It's a comebacker. Right to the mound. Weathers, or not, flips it over to first. A 1-3 put out. One away. James Hoyer, home plate umpire. He's got a decent rating. Rob Drake is at first base tonight. Jonathan Parra, your second base umpire. First pitch on the way to Adam Duvall is swung on and slice foul down the line. It's 0-1. Lefty-righty matchup. Duvall in left field tonight. Kelnick getting the rest. The 0-1 pitch. Outside wide, 96 miles an hour, 1-1. They were set up inside. If he is set up somewhere near that, he may get the call because Hoy's been giving that borderline pitch. The 1-1 swing, and that ball's grounded over short. Easy play for Tim Anderson. Flips it over to first. 6-3 put out. Not the most accurate of throw, but a good snag by Bell. 2 away. So 2 down, lefty matchup, and it's Michael Harris II coming to the plate. Harris takes the first pitch down and in. It's 1-0. The 1-0 kicks and fires, swing, and that ball's chopped over to first. Bell's got it, steps on the pillow. That'll end the inning. Another 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash. Braves trail Marlins. Braves, Marlins tied, 0-0. We head to the third.
Just a reminder that it costs $0 to be nice. How much, what is it to be an I can Venmo you. That's not the point. It's free, isn't it? You're so stupid.
Do you know why I put you over? Because I was at the stop sign for too long? Why was you just sitting there? I was just waiting for it to turn green. Where you headed? I'm at home. Okay, where you live? With my parents. Okay, and where do your parents live? They live with me. Okay, so where's your house? It's next to my neighbor's house. Step out the car, please. I'm going to jail.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by The Best Things in Life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
And what do we say when somebody says, hey, let's be friends? Ha! Okay, but just so you know, I'm freaking weird. I'm weird all day, every day, whether I like it or not. Okay, I wouldn't start with that.
The day after the Black Sox were acquitted, Judge Landis barred all 8 players for life. None of them ever played Major League Baseball again. Judge Landis and the club owners had done their best to reassure the public that the game's honesty had been restored, but fans remained skeptical. Something or someone else was needed to revive their shattered faith.
But I tell you what, here comes a guy with big, broad shoulders and skinny legs, and he could hit that ball out of the ballpark. See, a lot of people had stopped going to baseball, and here comes Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth started hitting that ball out the ballpark and then brought them back.
Thank you for listening, liking, and subscribing to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Brave. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe. Braves
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Finally got a chance to catch up with the chat. Like I said, I don't do the game like I do it normally when it's in market, so it's a little bit of a mess. This is the first pitch on the way to from Elder Fortes is a strike, followed up by a ball in the dirt. It's 1-1. 1-1 from Elder, righty-righty matchup in the dirt, 2-1. Doesn't help when as I'm saying that, both Bally feeds go blurry because it's their equipment. I'm like, good Lord. The 2-1 pitch, swing, and that ball's lifted into center field. That's going to carry out to Michael Harris II. 75% of the earth is covered by water. The rest is covered by the Hawk. One away. I saw the comment about the A's-Yankees game. I actually watched a decent amount of that. Well, honest engine, I listened to the first part, and then I watched the tail end when I got home from work. First of all, Sears pitched a great game. That's number one. His first pitch on the way from Elder to Arias, who's 1-for-1, is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. And if you have not seen Mason Miller, their closer, is the 0-1 pitch, down and in, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. This kid is beyond impressive. The 1-1 from Elder, swung on, lifted high and deep into right field, drifting back on the track at the wall. Ronald Acuna's back was right at the Coca-Cola sign in right field against the pads, 2 away. It looked like he had a good launch angle. Elder didn't look concerned, and then when Acuna started drifting back to make the catch, I wasn't sure if that was staying in or not. Acuna put on the brakes right before he got to the wall. First pitch on the way from Elder to De La Cruz, number 2 hitter, who's 1-for-1. It's 0-1. I think I misspoke earlier and said Sanchez. It was De La Cruz that was running from first to third that forced, as the 0-1 pitch is fouled off 0-2. He forced Arias to go from third to home. But it was a debacle by all because, A, if you're the first base runner, you got to be paying attention to what they're doing at second. But I believe it all came down to, from everything that I looked at afterwards, the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Quick inning by Elder. That's a good thing. I don't have to finish that thought. We'll be back in a flash.
You call it nagging. I call it listen to what I've said the first time.
5-2 Dodgers in the 9th. Got him. They've done it. Like the 1969 Mets, it's the impossible dream revisited.
And Myers bringing it. And the pitch is hit in the air. Foul off first. Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Bell, left field, way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions.
I be like, why are these people staring at me? I be forgetting I'm fine.
When the National League dropped 4 of its less profitable teams, Johnson saw his chance. He established new clubs in Boston, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Washington. Snapped up newly unemployed players, then began raiding active National League rosters. Lured by an average of $500 more per season, 111 National League players jumped to ban Johnson's brand new American League, including the great pitchers Cy Young and Rube Waddell and the notorious John McGraw. The National League owners complained, threatened, mounted lawsuits, quarreled among themselves, but they could do nothing. Ban Johnson was not going to go away.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Make sure to hit that like button, smash that like, and let's get that sign out of the way. First pitch on the way to Fletcher is swung on, chopped over towards second. Easy ground ball for Arias. 4-3 put out, one away. You'd like to see Fletcher look at a couple more pitches. Get this pitch count up on. We know Fletcher's not there. He's not winning the Triple Crown, but get out there and just eat some pitches when you're in the one pitch out is not what you want. Here comes Ronald Acuna Jr. It'll be interesting to see if there's any retribution of what happened to Fortes. He didn't do it. Is the first pitch on the way to Acuna, swung on and swatted foul down the right field line, out of play. It's 0-1. More likely they'll come after Ozuna, but they've been known to throw up and into Ronald, basically his whole career. The 0-1 pitch, they do set up inside. Here it comes. Inside, 94-mile-an-hour cutter, misses 1-1. I've always said that, Ronnie's one of the most laid-back individuals, but if he was ever going to charge the mound, the guy's going to have a Marlins jersey on it. The 1-1 swing, and that ball's grounded over to third. Easy play. 5-3 put out. Rivera to Bell. 2 away. So 2 down. We're here in the third inning. He's not even at 37 pitches yet. 36 for Weathers. You'd like to see him at least run that up a little bit and get into that Marlin bullpen. That'll bring Orlando Arce to the plate. He's 0 for 1. First pitch to Orlando is down and in. Did he go around? They're going to check down the first base side. Rob Drake says, yes, he did, 0-1. Philly taking it to Cincinnati right now. It's 4-0 in the fourth. The 0-1 pitch. Down and in, 1-1. Hunter Green on the mound tonight for the Reds. Mets play later on tonight in San Francisco. The 1-1, swung on, chopped, foul off the plate, back behind home plate. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. The pitch. Swing, and that ball's fouled down the line, 97 miles an hour. We'll do it again. Braves nothing, Marlins nothing. Bottom of the third inning. The pitch on the way. Kicks and fires, swung on, and that ball's going to dribble through the infield, hit them where they ain't in the 5-6 hole, and the Atlanta Braves. Via Orlando Arce, we do put a runner on here in the third. See if we can get a little something going here at the bottom of the third. First pitch on the way to Austin Riley is down and in. Changeup just misses him. Had to dance out of the way. It's 0-1. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. 85 missed the mark but got the strike call. At that changeup call, he's giving it to him. If they're setting up outside and they frame it well, James Hoy's giving that outside strike. Something Darno and Elder ought to be making note of. The 1-1. 95 up and in, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Lefty, righty. The infield shift. The 2-1 pitch. Swing, and that ball's popped up high down the right field line, but easy, lazy fly ball. Coming in, making the catch is Sanchez, and that'll end the inning. Orlando gets on, but we can't get him across. We'll be back in a flash. The heart of the Marlins order is coming to the plate.
For nothing, it's 9:30 in the morning. You're peeling potatoes?
I know what time it is.
What are you doing?
You got your uncles coming in later. You want to eat later on today? This generation. I'm done. What are you going to do? Call DoorDash when you have company? DoorDash? Send me some potatoes?
Okay, answer this question 100% honest.
Okay.
Okay? If I died, would you get remarried?
No, probably not.
What, you don't like being married?
I mean, yeah, obviously I do.
So then you would?
Yeah, I guess. Yes, I'll get remarried.
Would you guys stay in this house?
Yeah, it's a new house. Why not?
Would she drive my car?
Yeah, it's a new car.
Would you sleep in our bed?
Yes.
Would she wear my jewelry?
No, she probably have her own jewelry.
Would you replace all the photos of me in the house with her?
Probably. It's probably the right thing to do.
Are you gonna take her golfing?
Yeah, golfing's always fun.
Is she gonna use my golf clubs?
No, she's left-handed.
Armchair.
I'm going to go, and I guess to hone it in, I was going to say chemicals, but cleaning supplies.
Okay, yeah,
I
like it.
You can go cheap on them. You can buy store brand. Doesn't clean to your satisfaction. Just add a little more to it.
What you and I have told the American public today is there's certain things that you don't want to go cheap on, but if it comes down to your health or your cleanliness, you're fine with it.
Armchair.
Every magnate in the country is indebted to this man, Harry Wright, for the establishment of baseball as a business, and every patron for furnishing him with a systematic recreation. Every player is indebted to him for inaugurating an occupation by which he gains a livelihood, and the country at large for adding one more industry to furnish employment, sporting life.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way. 91-mile-an-hour four-seam from Elder to Jazz Chisholm, who almost took him deep his first time up. It's 1-0. The 1-0, righty-lefty, down and in, 84 changeup, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Standing on deck is Bell. The 2-0 offering, swung on, chopped. Foul towards the dugout, rattles around in the Atlanta Braves dugout, the first base side. Braves nothing, Marlins nothing. Jazz Chisholm double in the first. That was the play that if you missed us at the beginning, hit one off the top wall as the 2-1 pitch drops a bunt down. That went foul. I would have loved to seen that go fair. That ball had some smoke on it. He'd have been dead to rights. Riley was playing up the line. But it was a base running blunder is the best way to describe it without going back through the whole thing. And should have at least been one run for the Marlins. The 2-2 pitch. Caught looking, strike three. He got caught watching the paint dry. One away. Right there at the knees. Holy cow. That was a nasty pitch. When Bryce Elder was at his prime last year, that was the pitch, the sinker inside to both righties and lefties that wasn't getting too much of the plate as the first pitch right there to Bell is a changeup. It's 0-1. He's definitely using the changeup a little more than he did last year. The 0-1 pitch, kicks and fires, swing and a miss, 92. It's 0-2. All in all, after that first inning, Elders looked pretty good. That could have just been jitters. So an 0-2 count, righty-lefty, one down, Bell 0 for 1. Whoa! 0-2 is high. Just a bit high. It's 1-2. Travis d'Arnaud stuck his glove up as far as he could. That ball skipped off the top of the webbing and hit the back wall. The 1-2 pitch to Bell. Down and in, tried to get him to chase that slider. 2-2. Think if someone's on base, Travis jumps up to get that, but with nobody on, he just kind of let it go to the backstop. So a 2-2 count. Elder brings it. Swing and fouls it back. 92 right in his kitchen. Braves nothing, Marlins nothing. Top of 4. Braves on an infield shift to the right side against the left-hander. The pitch. Swung on, hit hard on the ground. Backhanded by Olsen. Olsen flips it to Elder. Number 55 steps on the pillow. And there's 2 away. Love to see Elder he's only at 41 pitches right now. Man, if he could get us 6-7 innings, that would be a huge lift. Braves do have an off day coming up on Thursday, but on the big picture of it, first pitch on the way to Sanchez is up and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Now, the most interesting part of this is, and obviously Bryce Elder still has options, is the 1-0 pitch. Down and in, 2-0. If Elder pitches well the next two outings, the biggest question will be, do they send him down or do they make him a part of the rotation and not use the extra, essentially going on, because right now the Braves have been using essentially a six-man rotation. The 2-0 pitch, inside, 3-0. It's going to be hard to do that. If he pitches well tonight and then turns around and pitches well again on Sunday against Cleveland, it's going to be really difficult to send him down. The 3-0 pitch, swing and a miss over the top. It's 3-1. Getting way ahead of ourselves, but you do wonder what the strategy would be. So after the game on Sunday, we go out west. Have a 3-game series in Seattle. Is the 3-1 pitch. Right there for a strike. 3-2. So a 3-2 count. Those are 9:40 first pitch on Monday and Tuesday night. We will bring it to you. It's not going to be easy. I got early mornings on Monday and Tuesday, but I'm going to figure it out. And I know we won't have a postgame show, but we'll probably, if we have a pregame show next Monday and next Tuesday night, it will be very short because I'm going to have to take combat naps around the game, essentially. So after a quick timeout and Sanchez sprays down his bat one more time, the payoff pitch. Swung on, that ball is going to get roped into right field, down for a base hit. Just over the outstretched glove of Fletcher. 1 on, 2 out. Sanchez gets on, looping base hit, and that'll bring Tim Anderson to the plate. I just wonder, big picture. So for people who aren't familiar with the rules, is the first pitch on the way to Elder. That sinker hit the zone. I don't know what James Hoy's looking at other than maybe the birds in the sky. He calls it a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. 1-1. I mean, you got the best seat in the house. You might as well pay attention to the game, Mr. Hoy. If they were to send him down after the start on Sunday, he has to stay gone for 10 days, 10 games. The 1-1, right there for a strike on the outer edge, 1-2. So essentially that would mean that you would bring someone else out there on the road trip and have Elder stay back, pitch probably once, and then come back. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, and that ball is going to get hit against the shift into right field. Scooping it up is Acuna. He comes up dancing, just egging on Sanchez to go second to third. Sanchez knew better. You got runners in first and second, 2 out, and Gordon, the left fielder, will come to the plate. Just off the end of the bat, Fletcher wasn't able to get over there. They had Fletcher playing essentially right next to the second base bag, and that was hit evenly in between first and second. So that'll bring Gordon, the left fielder, to the plate. Gordon takes the first pitch up high. Right there in the strike zone, it's 0-1. Gordon batting .229, 727 OPS. Righty-lefty. The pitch swung on, grounded over to second. Fletcher's got it, scoops it, flips it to Olsen and number 28 in the Atlanta Braves will head back to the dugout. They put a couple on but can't get it across. When we come back, Olsen, and then we'll see if there's retribution to Ozuna hitting the catcher.
Hey, how do you make friends so easily online like you do? Oh, it's easy. I'm a train wreck and people like to watch.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
PA plus E equals P.
This is simple for everybody. You have so much God-given talent, and you really can't control that. You can control your effort and your attitude. Positive attitude plus effort equals your performance.
What blows my mind is people willingly back up into parking spots. If someone had a gun to my head and they said, back up into that parking spot or parallel park, honey, make that casket pink, because that ain't going to happen.
Albert Goodwill Spaulding. With $800 borrowed from his mother, he opened a sporting goods business. Soon, he was manufacturing all the baseballs used in the National League. He then began making bats and uniforms, managing to persuade club owners that each position should have its own distinctive garb. The result was chaos. The team looked like a Dutch bed of tulips, a Chicago sports writer said, and the experiment was quickly abandoned.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson is swung on and smoked to the right side, right at Luis Arias. He'll make the catch, and after the catch, he takes his hand out of the glove and shakes it, looks at the rest of the infielders and goes, wow, that ball was scorched. I don't know if he caught the ball or if the ball caught him. Good defensive play there. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. That's a good sign, though. When you're hitting the ball like that, they're not all going to fall for you. And I know it's frustrating to Matt when he's in a slump like this. Is the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss out front, 1-1. So far, they haven't busted Ozuna inside. The 1-1. Pitch on the way. Swung on, chopped back over the back of the plate, 1-2. His follow through almost got Fortes in the face again. He kind of flinched. So a 1-2 count. The pitch, outside wide, 2-2. Lefty-righty matchup, the 2-2. Hey, high and out of the zone, ball 3-2. So a 3-2 count. Full count to Ozuna, 1 out, nobody on. The payoff pitch. Swing and fouls it back. We'll do it again. Ozuna over his career, I mean, he's been known to swing through, and the follow through is what gets the catchers in the back end. 3-2 pitch, 96-mile-an-hour fastball sawed off down the right field line, well out of play. We'll do it again. There's a part of me that says Marcel is the 3-2 pitch, outside wide, ball 4, and he'll head on down to first. There's a part of you that says, man, he really needs to watch that. The guys are getting hit. And you do worry about the busting a man and hitting him, causing an injury. There's another part of you that says, hey, Marlins have hit, number one, the Marlins themselves have hit the As the first pitch on the way, Travis d'Arnaud is blasted down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Rama-lama, ding-dong. A 2-run shot. His 5th of the year, Travis d'Arnaud, 14 RBIs and 365 happy feet off the left field foul pole. 101 miles an hour off the bat. And your Atlanta Braves lead at 2-0. And, I mean, it's going to be impossible to keep Travis d'Arnaud out of the lineup. I know they want him to get rest. He'll probably get Wednesday off. But, man, first pitch on the way to Duvall is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Sweeper inside. Travis d'Arnaud is absolutely seeing it. Now, that was a hanger, but he's not missing it. That's the key part to it. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, chopped foul down the line. It's 1-1. That ball got way too much of the plate. Looked like it might have been his change, and they were trying to set him up to roll over. That ball just hit the foul pole. Several feet up the foul pole. That doesn't hit the foul pole. It's going to get a much bigger landing spot on the stat track. Is the pitch on the way to Duvall? Does he go around? Goes down and in. It does not. 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Lefty righty. Duvall digs in. Pitch right there at the knees. Good 96-mile-an-hour fastball by Weathers. Evens up the count at 2-2. Braves 2, Marlins nothing. If you're just joining us, Travis d'Arnaud has just hit his 5th home run since Friday. The 2-2 pitch. Inside. Ball 3, 3-2. So a full count to Duvall. Standing on deck is Michael Harris. He has shown he's not afraid to drop a bunt down on a left-hander. The 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4, and your Atlanta Braves. 1 on, 1 out. And here comes Money Mike. Michael Harris II will be coming to the plate, making a quick stop out there to the mound. So while that goes on, let's go ahead and hit the out-of-town scoreboard. Definitely scoreboard watching a few teams out here, including the big one with the Philadelphia Phillies and the Reds. It is 4-0 in the top of the 8th. Detroit 6-0 over the Rays in Tampa. Is the first pitch on the way to Michael Harris II is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Lefty, pitch on the way. Just grabs the bottom of the zone to the knees. Nasty pitch, 1-1. So it's 6-0 Detroit in the 7th, 4-0 Philly in the 8th, 2-1 Pittsburgh over Milwaukee in the 6th. The 1-1 pitch, down and outside, ball 2, 2-1. Twins 2-0 over the White Sox are 3-18. What's hard to believe is that one of the wins is against Atlanta. Toronto 3-0 in Kansas City. Arizona 2-0 in St. Louis in the 2nd. The 2-1. Down and away. Ball 3. So the Braves possibly have Weathers on the ropes. He's now at 66 pitches in the 4th. The rest of the action, they're yet to get underway. San Diego's at Colorado. Baltimore's at L.A. The Angels. And the Mets are at San Fran. Weather's going to flip it over to first to keep Duvall close by. He's underneath the tag. Earlier today, Oakland 2-0 winners over New York. It was a pitcher's duel. Paid attention to quite a bit of that game. It was a flat-out pitcher's duel in the Bronx today. Both Carlos Rodon, as the 3-1 pitch swung on, and just foul. It was a one-hopper into the glove of Bell. They're going to call that foul, thankfully, because he stepped on the bag immediately, and I think he would have had Duvall doubled off. Duvall barely got going. Yeah, they would have had Duvall dead to rights. Yeah, Carlos Rodon went 7 scoreless as the 3-2 pitch swung on, grounded over to first again, and Bell is stumbling and bumbling, diving at first, hits the bag with his glove. Harris is out by an eyelash. Duvall easily makes it to second. 2 outs. Good hustle by Bell. He's a big guy and not the most fleet of foot. He went crawling across the ground to make sure he got that out. First pitch on the way. Lefty-righty matchup to David Fletcher. Floats one in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Yeah, this afternoon, Rodon went 7 and gave up just the 1 hit. And then also the Oakland A's, man, they had a pitching exhibition. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, chopped foul down chopped inside the foul line, down the right field line. Here comes Adam Duvall. A little hit them where they ain't. A hard chopper that bounced past the glove of Bell. They had Bell played on a shift, and if he's played in normal first base position, that's an out. But they had him closer to the pitcher's mound than they did first base. First pitch swung on by Acuna is a dribbler back to the mound. That'll end the inning. But out for the Atlanta Braves, put 3 on the board. It's 3-0 Hot Atlanta. We'll be back in a flash.
Who is Duffy?
Duffy is my muse, and he also runs the cult that I'm in.
Dad, how'd I do in my baseball game? You did okay. Just okay? Well, you seem a little scared of the ball. Yes, I am. Huh? I'm very scared of the ball. Yeah, I see that. At one point, I actually tried to hide the ball. Yeah, but they caught you. Yeah, they were like, you got to throw that back to us. So I had to give it to them. Yeah, I saw that. I'm just so scared it's going to hit me. You can't be scared of the ball. Is that why you don't swing the bat? Wait, what? Is that why you don't swing the bat? I'm supposed to swing the bat? Yeah, why do you think they're throwing the ball? I didn't know why. What do you mean? I thought he just didn't like me. No, you're supposed to swing at the ball. Okay, well, next time I'll swing. I got on base, though. Yeah, by a walk, I guess. No, I ran as fast as I could. No, I'm saying you were walked by. No, Eddie's mom has it on video. I ran to the base. You can even. You got 4 balls. Right, that's when I got walked. I remember about that. And later you had a chance to steal second. Why didn't you? Steal second base? Yeah, why didn't you steal second? Like just take it so they can't stand on it? No, I'm saying steal second base. Like you can't just take the base because then they'll have to say the game's over. Never mind. You had a great game. Really? Because everyone's saying I'm the reason we lost. Oh, because when the guy hit the ball and I grabbed the ball and I put it in my pants. Yeah, why did you do that? 3 guys scored. I was trying to do a trick I saw on America's Got Talent. I was going to make the ball. You know, maybe you shouldn't play baseball. Yeah, I might quit. Really? Do you think your coach would get mad? No, not at all. No, you don't think? No, he actually suggested it.
You play to win the game.
The idea of going to the ballpark, say in 1900, was that the urban masses would get a taste of country pastoral air, that they would breathe in, that their lungs would expand by cheering. Baseball grew in the cities. It is an outgrowth of gambling, it's an outgrowth of crookedness, it's an outgrowth of drinking, it's a roistering, boisterous event. It is as wild as the Wild West.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way. Grabs the outer part of the zone by Bryce Elder to start off the inning with the called strike. Top of the 5th, it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Right there at the knees. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Righty. Pitch on the way. Fastball. Doesn't get the call. He's been given that call all night, 1-2. No, Connor, actually, that's the nickname that was donned by Mr. Skip Carey. You may have heard of him. Righty pitch. Down and away. 2-2. So a 2-2 count. That's one of the reasons why I like the term, because anytime they hit one in the summer, he would say, "Your hot Atlanta Braves." The 2-2. Down and away. Ball 3-2. Actually, it was more of a, "Your Atlanta Braves." So a full count to Rivera. Pitch, swing, and fouls it back. We'll do it again. That's right, Underwater. He was the absolute voice of the summer back in the day. So a full count, righty, the pitch. Swung on, grounded up the middle, but right at Fletcher. 4-3 put out, 1 away. One down. If you never caught the pregame with the lineup for Braves Country, he's obviously near and dear to our heart. The first pitch on the way from Elder is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Braves 3, Marlins nothing. If you're just joining us, Travis d'Arnaud has hit another home run, his 5th since Friday. The 1-0 pitch, swung on, grounded. Nasty hopper, and I don't know how Riley scooped that. Backhanded, flips it over to first, a 5-3 put out. Once he got the ball, it was an easy play. But it took a nasty hop, an in-between hop, and Riley makes the play. Had a little more topspin than I think he expected. Normally you would charge that, but it got on him quickly, and he was kind of stuck in no man's land. And it's one of those ones where you close your eyes and hope for the best, and he got the play. First pitch from Elders, down and in for a ball to Luis Arias. It's 1-0. Pesky hitter Arias. The 1-0 pitch, down and away, 2-0. Remember, he flirted with 400 all last summer. Faded off in the end and ended up hitting around, I think, 351, the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, grounded over to second. And Fletcher's got it, handcuffed him. He rebounds and flips it to first. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Your hot Atlanta Braves 3. The Miami Marlins nothing. We'll be back in a flash.
Why is it so hard to solve a murder in West Virginia? There's no dental records and all the DNA's the same.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Now Don Mattingly, an emerging star. Mattingly last year was called up by the Yankees from Columbus the day Bobby Mercer retired. He'd been with him prior to that, but had been sent out. And he's not only won a spot on the roster, he's in the lineup, he's hitting third, and he's leading the league at .338. That's drilled to the gap in right center field, and it is off the fence. Randolph was running all the way, so he is being waved in. Whitaker's throwing to Parrish is not in time on a double by Mattingly.
First game I went to, May 30th, 1956, Yankee Stadium. We drove from Long Beach, Long Island to the Bronx. Almost took 2 hours. And as we came up into the Bronx and Jerome Avenue, my dad said, "There it is." And, you know, I'd seen games before, but on TV, and there it was, and it like ate up the Bronx. It was the biggest thing I had ever seen in my life, and it had that great roof, that green copper roof, and the breeze was just blowing all those pennants in the roof, you know, just going like that, telling you which way the wind was blowing, and I had my glove and everything, and I sat like in between third base and home plate, like real close.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch to Orlando. Arcia is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Orlando 1 for 2 with a single in the third. The 1-0 from Weathers. Swing and fouls it straight back. 1-1. Same two teams back at it tomorrow night, 7:20 first pitch. It'll be Ronaldo Lopez, or as I like to call him now, Mr. Tuesday. The lefty brings it and misses outside, 2-1. Ronaldo Lopez, every one of his starts so far this year has been on Tuesday, and that will not change. The 2-1 pitch swung on, popped up high into short center field. Jazz Chisholm makes the grab, one away. Kind of jammed him on that one. So one down. Austin Riley, man, we got to get this guy off the schneid. The 0-1 to Riley. Swung on, fouled straight back. 0-1. I really thought when he hit that home run in Chicago, I thought that was going to start lighting the torch for the middle of that lineup, and we got back to Atlanta and nothing's really happened. He's hitting 256 on the year, 768 OPS. The 1-1-2, Riley after the missed 0-1, swung on and chopped foul into the dugout. It's 1-2. He's got just 2 home runs. And we know Riley and Olson are going to be okay, but for both of them to go down at the same time, it's really hurting this offense. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, 96 up top, outer corner, 2 away. And you get that feeling that when one of them gets off the schneid, the other one is going to come with them. That'll bring Olson to the plate. He had a hard one his last time up. It was caught. Line drive by the second baseman, Arias. The first pitch is changeup. Just missed the edge, but he got the call. 0-1. The 0-1 floats it right down the center of the plate. Sweeper, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Lefty, pitch on the way. Swing and serves that into left field. That's going to be an easy out, and it's going to be another 1-2-3 inning. 3 up, 3 down, but in between it, the Braves have taken a 3-0 lead against the Fish. We'll be back in a flash.
All right, kids, I hate to say it, but I think it's time we have to form an alliance with the Millennials.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be a no from me there, Big Pimpin', but appreciate the offer. We'd be terrible teammates. Words hurt you guys too much. You have the alcohol tolerance of a child. You drink like nobody's ever hurt you in life, but I digress. First of all, congratulations on making it to the hating the younger generation part of your life. I'm proud of you. You guys are running around on all fours saying, like, my name's Mittens, I'm a cat, and you have to respect it. You have 9,000 pronouns that all say the same thing. Clearly the dosage is still off.
You mind if we ask you a quick question?
Sure, go ahead. What you got?
We're doing a survey, and we're asking people, what would you do if somebody broke into your house with the intentions to rob and harm your family?
Oh, I'd call 811.
811? You mean 911?
No, 811, because I'm going to need to know where to dig a hole.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
It is the American game. That's just what it is. And actually, it makes you me. I'm 8-1. But I can feel like I'm 15 when I'm talking baseball. I'm watching baseball. This is it. It does this. It can do this to any man. It brings you back.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Bryce Elder started with a shaky start in the first inning. Since then, he has been pitching a gem. First pitch to De La Cruz. Misses out of the zone. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and chopped foul down the third base line. Evens up the count at 1-1. Brian De La Cruz. Jazz Chisholm. Josh Bell. The heart of the order due up for the Marlins. The 1-1 swing and a miss. Nasty slider 1-2. He's thrown a little more of that changeup in this outing, but last year when things were going well, it was that sinker that would dive in on righties and fade away to lefties, and then the slider all being set up by that well-placed fastball. The 1-2 tried to get him to chase that slider outside. 2-2. If he throws that changeup more often with purpose, is the 2-2 pitch. Did he go around? They're going to check down the first base line. The first base umpire, Rob Drake, said that he did go around. Got him. Strike 3. Looking at the replay. Oh, yeah, he definitely went around. From the center field view, it didn't look like that he offered as much. You look down that right, the first base side, he definitely rolled his wrists over. So that'll bring Jazz to the plate. Jazz, 1 for 2. Takes the first pitch up high and outside. It's 1-0. How different is this game if Jazz Chisholm's double off the wall just goes about 3 feet to the left? It would have been 3-0 out the gate here for Elder. The 1-0. Fouled straight back, 2-0. Or, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Cincinnati, they do not have a pulse tonight. 7-0 against Philly. Hunter Green's going to be in trouble. The 1-1 pitch. Down and out of the zone. Taken all the way, 2-1. Hunter Green at one point was looked upon as one of the great prospects in baseball. We do Reds Country Radio podcasts a couple times a month. Going to kind of get caught up on that division. And our Reds fan, Doug, is a 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss over the top. It's 2-2. He mentioned last show that Hunter Green was on thin ice, and it kind of shocked me because I don't get a chance to watch a lot of Cincinnati Reds games, but he is, ever since he's brought that up, I've been watching his box score, and it's just, considering the fact that he was looked upon as the next ace of that staff, and he's just kind of 4 or 5 at best. The 2-2 to Chisholm. Swung on, chopped over deep into short, and Arcia bare hands it, fires it across the diamond, and it's a 6-3 put out by an eyelash. Jazz believes he was safe, but the naked eye can't tell, to be honest. Arcia's got a look on his face like, I'm not sure. He had to bare hand that and crow hop it to first. Let's see the look. Oh, it's so close. It's like Ty goes to the runner if he's safe. Yeah, he might have beat it. The only thing that's going to get him out is that I don't know if there's going to be enough to overturn it. It's that close. It is literally Ty go to the runner type of stuff, but if they think they can't overturn it, we'll end up heading to break. Wow. I agree, Underwater. That would be my first, but then again, I'm sitting in here with an Atlanta Braves spring training hat on. So, of course I'm going to say he's out. That is literally one of those, depends on who you're pulling for. See, the thing is, it hits the top of his glove just. And it's funny, I'm reading the comments on the Braves network and the Marlins network, and they're both emphatically saying that that one saying he's out, one saying he's safe, as you can imagine. So that's pretty funny. My gut feeling is he's safe, but I don't know if there's going to be enough to overturn it. it's Matt Olson's fault. If he's about 9 feet tall, he's going to be able to stretch the reach to get that ball. See, just as he hits I don't remember a play at first being this close since the HD instant replay vision. This is close. This is one of the ones, no matter which side gets it, I'm not going to argue it. It looks like that there's not enough to overturn it. They're going to say that he's safe. And once again, it's so close. This is Des Bryant all over again. Everyone on the field is laughing because they're just kind of like, I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. No one else in baseball makes that play close. Orlando Arcia barehanded that chopper, a hard chopper, and in one motion fired it to first. Nobody makes it that close. Elder turns around and flips it over to first to keep Jazz Chisholm close by as Josh Bell gets into the box. Braves 3, Marlins nothing. 1 down, top of the 6th. The pitch. Inside hits Bell right on the top of the arm, and we got problems now. Because now you got runners on first and second, 1 out. An errant pitch that gets away from Elder. Not something you want to see. Josh Bell, if you can get him to hit a ground ball, he's a double play waiting to happen. But instead, runners on first and second, and now with Jesus Sanchez, their number 5 hitter, he represents the tying run. First pitch on the way is a swing and a miss strike over the top. Change up, it's 0-1. Pierce Johnson warming up in the Atlanta Braves bullpen. The 0-1. Elder at 77 pitches. On the way. Swing, and that ball's chopped over to first. Olson's got it, fires it over to second, and it's going to be a 3-6-1 as Elder covers the bag. Inning-ending double play. How about that? Mr. Elder got the quality start like we talked about. We'll be back in a flash.
My pronouns are USA. Who exactly started telling people that what birthday parties looked like in the 80s? First of all, we didn't have birthday parties in the 80s. We were lucky if our parents remembered our birthday. Growing up in Gen X, you had at least one birthday that your parents just completely forgot. Once in a while, there'd be a kid in your class who was having his birthday party at McDonald's. Your whole class was invited. Like, even the kid that eats glue that nobody likes got to come. We did not have the same McDonald's that kids have today. We had a slide that was the temperature of Satan's ass and this burger prison. And the floor was all these little rocks that would get in your shoe and like stab your foot. There was no point in taking it out because they were gonna get right back in there. You always had one stupid kid in your class that would just pick up like a handful of rocks and like zing them at your face. Nobody cared. Our parents weren't watching. It was anarchy out there. When it was time to eat, we would sit down and get our Happy Meals, and they'd be placed like right next to ashtrays because our moms just chain smoked Virginia Slims the whole time we were there. Number one best part of a McDonald's birthday in the 80s, unlimited orange drink. And if you were the kid that had that party, your status symbol in that elementary school went whoop.
My family and other families in the South, religious families, would not allow us to play on Sunday. We had to go to church on Sunday, not play baseball. But they would have Saturday games at these churches out in the fields, and the whole community would turn out to see him play.
It was the era of dress up. It was that era. See, the men have on ties, hats. The ladies had on their fine dresses. In our baseball, a Sunday baseball, in our faith, you know, Methodist, Baptist, or whatnot, 11 o'clock service on Sunday. But when the Monarchs in town or when the East-West game was on, they started church at 10 o'clock. So they could get out an hour earlier so they could come to the ball game. So they got on their finery coming from church. They came straight to the ball game, looking pretty. Yes, we loved it.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna. It's right there, first strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Change up, chop foul towards the first base dugout. closer to the on-deck circle. It's 0-2. Standing on deck is the 2024 National League MVP, Travis d'Arnaud. The 0-2 just misses outside. Good take by Marcel. You never know if James Hoy's going to give that outside strike like he has all weekend long, all night long, excuse me. The 1-2 pitch. 95 outside. And the Marlins know it. They're playing into that hand. If you're going to give them that wide of a strike zone, we saw Maddox and Glavine do it for a decade. The 2-2 pitch, swung on, chopped foul down towards the third base dugout. Will do it again. So they're going inside, outside with the fastball and changeup primarily with Ozuna. He has snuck a sweeper in there. The 2-2 pitch. Swing, and that ball's popped up high into right field. That's going to fall into the glove of the right fielder, Jesus Sanchez. One away. For anybody who may care about the NBA playoffs, 76ers are taking it to the Knicks, and the Cavaliers are blowing out the Magic. First pitch on the way to d'Arnaud is swung on. That ball's roasted into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And Travis d'Arnaud, imagine that. He's on base again. Absolutely scorching hot. When you see his swing, he's just staying back on the ball. He's seeing it so well. He's letting that ball travel through, and then he just wallops it the moment it gets into the zone. First pitch on the way to Adam Duvall is right in there on the inner cut for a strike. It's 0-1. Marlins are playing back and on a shift. The 0-1 pitch, down and in, 1-1. No post-game show tonight, y'all. 4:45 a.m. comes early, so there will be no post-game show tonight. The Braves Country Night will be back tomorrow night. The 1-1. Weathers turns around and flips it over to first, diving underneath the tag. Man, Travis, that was close. For a guy who's not a threat to steal, he almost got picked off. Travis does usually try to get a pretty good lead because he knows with his lack of speed that he wants to have an opportunity. First of all, if a ball gets away, but second of all, to try to get from first to third if it's possible. The 1-1 floats a changeup right there on the inner cut. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Braves 3, Fish nothing. The pitch. Inside almost gets him. 96 miles an hour, 2-2. You almost want Duvall, way he's been quiet, to get hit by that pitch, but not a 90. You don't want 96 in the ribs for anybody. If it was a changeup, I'd say, just kind of lean in there. Let that hit you on the wallet. The 2-2 pitch. Swing, and that ball's fisted towards right field. Is that going to get down? Oh, just foul. Just foul. That would have been extra bases. That ball was perfectly placed, and it was rolling so slow, d'Arnaud would have been on third, and Duvall definitely would have been on second. But instead, Travis will go back to the starting block at first. Duvall will go. I think he had to go get another bat. It looks like that bat actually sawed off. Splintered on Duvall. Braves 3, Marlins nothing. Bottom 6. Sixth and the eighth have really been the loud innings for the Braves here in the early going. The 2-2 pitch. Swing, and that ball's laced into left field, right at the left fielder, Gordon. perfectly placed. It's a fly ball out to bring up the number 8 hitter in the order, Michael Harris II. You got 2 down, 1 on. Darnode stands on first. Michael, 783 OPS, stands in. The pitch. Swung on, chopped over, down through the hole on the right-hand side. Travis Darnode's going to go first to third. Here comes the throw. He's got no chance, and your Atlanta Braves with a seeing-eye single. You got runners on the corners and 2 outs. Honest engine. Be a perfect place for a pinch hitter. David Fletcher is due up. They're going to come out there and talk to him. I believe, yep, Shoemaker's going to make a pitching change. So he's going to come out and get the righty. He gets the righty. I would think we're going to get Luis Guillorme. This kind of plays into the Braves' hands, to be honest with you. We'll be back in a flash. There's a couple other options. We'll be back in a flash to let you know where they're going.
If we're all the same in there, why don't we just focus on treating other people the way that we want to be treated?
We were just talking.
Shut up. They've given me less than 1 year to turn this place around. Forget about the way it used to be. This is not a damn democracy. We are in a state of emergency, and my word is law.
Brand new for the Braves Country radio broadcast season, along with pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We will bring you a live pregame show and postgame show, and the phone lines wide open for you to call, react, or ask your questions along with the chat. That's Braves Country today pregame, Braves Country tonight postgame.
What's your boyfriend's most toxic trait?
Oh my god. So it's actually kind of funny. He'll say this thing to me all the time. He'll be like, I'm not your boyfriend. And I'll be like, yes, you are. Silly. And then he'll say to me, he's like, no, I'm not. You seriously are delusional. You need to stop. It's getting ridiculous. You keep violating the restraining order. He filed a restraining order, by the way. It's so funny. It was such a good joke. But yeah, no, I love him either way. He's my boyfriend. He's my boyfriend. We're together. We're happy.
Armchair.
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. And that's marvelous. But you can apply those same 3 criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves lead this one 3-0. We've got runners on the corners. Bert Smith, the right-hander, comes in, and the pitch is down and in, almost gets Fletcher. And I'm going to be honest with you. Fletcher, curveball, diving out of the way. Buddy, you got to let that one hit you, man. Come on, buddy. You're not up there for your bat. On the play, Michael Harris II stole second. With ease as the ball just about got away. The 1-0 swung on and chopped foul down the third base line. Chased that curveball. Just hit the zone, but he shouldn't have swung at it. It was definitely a pitcher's pitch. Trying to get Fletcher to beat one into the ground. The 1-1. Pitch on the way, down and away. Ball almost gets away, backhanded 2-1. So a 2-1 count. He has not really been particularly close to the plate. The one that Fletcher fouled off may have grabbed the inside part of the zone. The other 2 pitches have been way out of the zone. So a 2-1 from Smith. Righty, the pitch. Swung on, pops it up, chased one in off the plate again. 2-2. Yeah, Fletcher, I mean, he's seen his better days. We know that he's a good professional bench player. But a 79 curveball, he dove out of the way. You would have loved to have seen him just take that one on the wallet, load the bases for Acuna in the top of the order. But instead, we got a 2-2 count. Maybe a seeing eye single or something can get Fletcher home, or a wild pitch or something. The 2-2. Swing and chops that one again. Do it again. He's got such a flat overhanded swing that curveball, he's going to beat that into the ground every time. Unless he just gets it just right. So a 2-2 count. Righty. Pitch from Smith. Swung on. Man, he chased that one out of the zone. Good night, Irene. Fouled it straight back. We'll do it again. That pitch was nowhere near the zone. That was up around his eyeballs. It was over the plate, but it was, I mean, that is not good plate discipline. The 2-2. Down and over the plate, curveball. Good take by Fletcher that time, so that did show good discipline. It's a full count. David Fletcher, for those not familiar with him, he was a Los Angeles Angel for several years. Actually played his college ball at University of Florida, but he was a Los Angeles Angel for several years and had some good years. The 3-2 pitch. Swing, and that ball's lifted high. Not quite deep enough. Is it going to stay fair? Yep, that'll be an easy out as the left fielder, Gordon, makes the catch. That'll end the inning. Braves threaten, but Fletcher can't lay off the inside. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Almost Good Beer. Remember, Ed's Almost Good Beer was brewed in God's country when God wasn't looking.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Darryl Strawberry has gone out to get some sunglasses, so the sun has poked through the clouds here at Wrigley, much to the delight of the fans.
There's a lot of daughters here, too.
It measures just 9 inches in circumference, weighs only about 5 ounces, and is made of cork wound with woolen yarn, covered with 2 layers of cowhide, and stitched by hand precisely 216 times. It travels 60 feet 6 inches from the pitcher's mound to home, and it can cover that distance at nearly 100 miles an hour. Along the way, it can be made to twist, spin, curve, wobble, rise, or fall away. The bat is made of turned ash, less than 42 inches long, not more than 2 3/4 inches in diameter. The batter has only a few thousandths of a second to decide to hit the ball. And yet the men who fail 7 times out of 10 are considered the game's greatest heroes.
Please like and subscribe today, youtube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. So for those of y'all who are curious about where David Fletcher came from realistically, he came over in a trade during the offseason from the Angels. It's the first pitch on the way from Elder. So they leave him back in there in the 7th inning. See how this goes. Pitch high and out of the zone to Anderson. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Anderson 1 for 2. Third time through the lineup. This is the back end of the lineup. I can't imagine Elder would see anything past the 7th inning. But he came over in the trade from the Angels as the 2-0. Right there for a strike. 2-1. Evan White and Tyler Thomas to the Angels. The Braves received Max Stassi and David Fletcher in the offseason. The 2-1 down and in 3-1. So a 3-1 count, swung on, chopped over towards Riley. Riley had to barehand it, fires it over to first. A good barehanded scoop off his front foot and threw a bean to first, one away. He had to come in charging. Anderson still has pretty good speed. Riley knew he didn't have much time. So that'll bring up the number 7 hitter, Gordon. The left fielder takes the first pitch up high for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, swung on, hit hard on the ground, grounded over to Fletcher. He flips it over to first. 4-3 put out, 2 away. Evan White was so this goes back to early December. David Fletcher came over as the first pitch on the way, righty-righty matchup to Rivera is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0, righty-righty. Swung on. That ball is slapped into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. 2 outs. 2 outs and 1 on here in the top of the 7th inning. 87 pitches, and Elder, well, that's going to be it for Elder, but he should get a big round of applause. He had a hell of an outing for the first time we've seen him all year long. He goes 6 2/3 strong, still on the hook for the runner on third, but a great outing for Mr. Bryce Elder. We will be back in a flash here on Braves Country. Join the Country Club today. The first month is free. You'll have access to badges, one-of-a-kind emojis to display your Braves pride throughout the ball game. You'll also get instant access to our video drops, members-only chat, wallpapers, and more is on the way. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today.
Would you knock me down a flight of stairs for $4 million?
I'd do it for a $5 scratch off and a bag of Doritos.
Cause he's the armchair quarterback. He's full of beer and he's full of snacks. The all-American man. With a groove on in his head. Yeah.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. All the deals that were made in the offseason, you saw a lot of moves back and forth, Stassi and Fletcher and whatnot. A lot of it had to do with the fact that the Braves were trying to get control of Kelenic, and they were taking on a lot of salary to do so. That and Mr. Aaron Bummer. So take that for what it's worth. First pitch on the way to Fortes is grounded hard down the third base line. Foul. It's 0-1. It'd be a lot to get into during the broadcast, but we went over it during the offseason, and the short of it is they took on a lot of different players and shuffled them around to get rid of some salary and to take on salary to be able to get Kelenic in left field and Bummer added to the mix, and it freed up some things to be able to allow them to get Chris Sale in here. Righty-righty matchup. Johnson, 1-1 count to Fortes. The pitch, curveball right there at the knees. Nice one, 1-2. So 1-2 count from PJ. 1 on, 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. The pitch from PJ, kicks and flies. That ball goes down and away. He just held up. You can tell Fortes really wanted to swing at that curveball. I think about throwing another one to him. It's 2-2. Three nothing Atlanta, top of the 7th, 2 outs. 1 on, a 2-2 from Pierce Johnson. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with that curveball, and that'll end the inning. Braves get out of that jam. It's 7th inning stretch time. Get up and stretch, y'all.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. All right, 1, 2, 3. We are to the
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Ronald Acuna Jr. Smoked high and deep into right field. It's going to get caught on the run by Sanchez. One away. First pitch on the way to Arcia is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. I missed the century mark. I don't have my producer with me tonight, so I did miss that. But we took the sign down. Appreciate everybody hitting that like button. The 1-0 swing and a miss up top. It's 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Inside almost gets him. Arcia bends out of the way. The 2-1 count. 3-0 Atlanta. You'd love to get a few more on the board. The pitch. Check swing foul down the line. It's 2-2. Smith is still in the game. He's at 12 pitches now. Arcia Was trying to bend out of the way. He does that a lot. When he bends out of the way, that bat goes across the plate, and it just caught it for a foul tip. The 2-2 pitch. High and out of the zone. 96 up top. Ball 3, 3-2. So a full count. Austin Riley on deck. Braves lead it 3-0. You love some insurance. The pitch. Swing and pops it up. That'll bend back out of play. We'll do it again. Braves 3. Nothing your score. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on. That ball is roasted down the left field line, and RC is on his high horse. He's got a head first slide, and your Atlanta Braves. 1 on, 1 out. A head first slide into second, a 1-out double, and RC you later smokes it down the left field line. Turned on that, and it's absolutely, it was a one-hopper that sizzled past the third baseman Rivera. He didn't even have an opportunity to make an honest dive for it. It just went by him. The first pitch on the way to Austin Riley is swung on and foul back out of play. It's 0-1. You'd love to see Austin come through, even with just a broken bat, saying anything to get the confidence back up. Braves 3, Marlins nothing. Riley stands at the plate. Olsen on deck. Ozuna in the hole. The 0-1 swung on, and that ball's lifted down towards right field. That is a foul, a lazy fly ball. It'll be an easy catch for Sanchez to away. Sanchez didn't have to move much on that one. Riley knew at the moment that he swung, just not making good contact. Maybe Matt Olson can get off the schneid. The infield is back and playing the shift. Matt Olson steps in, righty-lefty matchup. He's 0 for 3. The pitch. 87-mile-an-hour cutter misses high. It's 1-0. This time, in the middle of the year last year, you'd be probably walking Olsen to get to Ozuna, but you're not doing that right now. The 1-0 pitch just misses high tight. 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Pittsburgh leads Milwaukee 4-2 in the 9th inning. The 2-0. Way outside wide, ball 3. So a 3-0 count. Arcia on second. 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. Braves lead at 3-0. The 3-0. Swing and fouls it straight back 95 miles an hour. Inner cut just below the waist. 3-1. Arcia getting a pretty decent lead over at second. The 3-1 from Smith. Kicks and fires. Way outside wide, ball 4. So we've got runners on first and second. 2 out, and here comes Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna, with one swing, could blow this game open. Even a base hit here, you'd love some insurance. Braves lead at 3-0. Such a different ball game if it's 4-0 or higher. The first pitch on the way to Marcell is a swing and a miss. Down below the zone, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Ozuna 0 for 2 with a walk. The pitch. On the way. Swing and fouls it straight back into Fortes. So an 0-2 count. 2 on, 2 out, 2 strikes on Ozuna. Deuces wild here in the bottom of the 7th. Braves looking to strike again. Give that bullpen a little more breathing room. The 0-2. Swing, and that ball's grounded softly over to short. It's going to be a 6-4 putout, and that'll end the inning. Braves put a couple on, but can't get him in. We'll head to the top of the 8th, leading 3-0. Braves, Marlins, game 1 of a 3-game set.
On the subject of this service, what is your opinion of war protesters, and would you today refuse to be drafted?
Honey, I just want to keep my own personal views about that to myself, because I'm just an entertainer, and I'd really not say.
Do you think other entertainers should keep their views to themselves too?
No, I can't even say that.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Clayton Kershaw is without a doubt a Hall of Famer. In Kershaw's family, he had a great uncle named Clyde Tombaugh. He was an astronomer who, over 100 years ago, discovered the planet Pluto. For those who don't know, eye black is a black adhesive that is used by players to limit glare from the sun. But did you know that none other than Babe Ruth allegedly invented it? Around the 1930s, Ruth was getting distracted by the sun, so he put some black grease under his eyes, and the rest is history.
John Joseph McGraw, player-manager of the contentious Baltimore Orioles, had been one of the first National Leaguers to jump to the American League in 1901. But he had not liked it there. He could not bear to have anyone tell him how to play the game. When McGraw refused to stop the constant abuse of umpires, for which he was infamous, Johnson suspended him. McGraw never forgave Johnson. He returned to the National League as manager of the New York Giants, a job he would hold for 31 years, leading his team to 10 pennants and ending in the first division 28 times. No one made a move on the field without his consent. McGraw was said once to have fined a player for hitting a home run that drove in 2 runs because he had ordered him to bunt. The main idea, John McGraw said, is to win. When McGraw won the National League pennant in 1904, he took an especially sweet revenge on Ban Johnson. Rather than have anything to do with the league that had suspended him, he simply refused to play the Boston Pilgrims for the championship. There was no World Series in 1904.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. A.J. Minter comes into the game. He fires the first pitch right there for a strike, top of the zone, to Luis Arias, the number 1 hitter, leadoff hitter. It'll be Arias, De La Cruz, and Jazz. The 0-1, lefty, down and away, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. A.J. Minter, 10 innings so far this year, 1.8 ERA. The 1-2, inside, top part of the zone, called for a strike, 1-2. Luis Arias using his timeout. Knicks have come back to make that Philadelphia game close. Pittsburgh held on to win against the Pittsburgh Pirates held on to win against Milwaukee. The 1-2 pitch. Lets her go. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him chasing off the edge of the pier with no pole, and there's one away. That cutter kept going and going and going, and Arias, I think, was just trying to make contact to stay alive. He chased that way off the edge. That was in the right-handed batter's box. That's where De La Cruz will dig in from. Lefty-righty matchup. The first pitch on the way. Swung on, grounded hard over to Arcia. Arcia fires it across on a line. 6-3 put out. 2 down. So 2 down. Atlanta. We'll now see the number 3 hitter, Jazz Chisholm, come to the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way. Swung on and swatted into right field. Scooping and making the catch at his shoelaces is Ronald Acuna Jr. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
All right, say cheese. Oh, I'm vegan, so can't really
Oh my God. You know, soy.
Look at Soto. He's kicked. He wants to throw the bat at the fans. What a... That's his manager pulling him away. Boy, how bad is Jody Davis hurt?
A fan threw a beer at Mario Soto, and that incited him. He grabbed a bat and wanted to go after the fan with a bat.
I tell you the truth, my wife and I, we never have sex. Now, we get undressed, we can't stop laughing, you know?
Yeah, I'm from an era where we turn everything into a cup. Say what you want, but the salsa glass be making some good salsa water, boy. Yeah, you finish with a little jar of pickles, boy, put some Kool-Aid in there. You use all the ragu out the glass jar? All right, put some soda in there. It's a glass container is empty and it becomes a reusable glass container. Shoot, you having company? Peel that paper off. Oh, y'all fancy over here. This is a fancy glass.
Spalding led his White Stockings and a pickup team of all-stars on a round-the-world tour to spread the gospel of the great American game.
We are up at breakfast early as we are to start at 10 o'clock for the pyramids. Camels and donkeys have been secured for the party, the ball players in uniform, as for the first time the Sphinx is to witness a game of baseball. After lunch, we have photos taken at the Sphinx and then proceed to play our historical game of ball with about 200 Arabs for an audience. They took more interest in the game than the average Englishman and did not once refer to it as the old game of rounders, you know.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Hottest hitter on the planet coming to the plate here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Travis d'Arnaud, 5 home runs since Friday night. d'Arnaud steps in against Cronin. New right-hander for the Marlins. First pitch on the way is swung on and swatted down the right field line. Is it going to stay in play? Just foul and bangs off the railing near the right field seats. Oh, and 1. Travis d'Arnaud had he was trotting down the line, so they'll give him a second to get back into the batter's box. First pitch on the way, or the 0-1 pitch on the way. The slider misses well out of the zone. High at that, 1-1. The 1-1. Swing, and that ball's sliced foul back behind home plate. 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Braves 3, Fish nothing. Bottom of the 8th. The pitch. Swung on and just got a piece of that foul. Stay alive. Foul tipped it into the glove of the hind catcher Fortes, but he couldn't hold on. One more chance. 1-2. d'Arnaud 2 for 3 on the night. The 1-2 down and away. 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Travis d'Arnaud had a comebacker to the pitcher and then a home run. The 2-2. Down and away, ball 3. Singled his last time up. Full count to d'Arnaud. Standing on deck is Duvall. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 94-mile-an-hour sinker up top outer edge. Travis's helmet came flying off. 1 away. Braves 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Miami, no runs, 8 hits, no errors. A cleanly played pitcher's duel. First pitch to Duvall is inside, called for a strike. I mean, this guy, with his strike zone, it's 0-1. It's one thing to give the inside or the outside edge. You can't give them both. The 0-1. Swung on, chopped, foul down the line. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Braves would love just a little bit of breathing room here. Raziel Iglesias getting warmed up in the pen. The 0-2 pitch. 95 miles an hour. Not sure where that missed, but I'm not sure James Hoy's been paying attention to the game all night long. It's 1-2. The 1-2. Kicks and fires. Down and away, 2-2. Good hold up by Duvall. Little surprise, Kelenic wasn't brought in to pinch hit. He's definitely played outstanding defense in the outfield. Or for whatever reason, they're wanting to give him the night off altogether. The 2-2 pitch. Down and away, ball 3. So a 3-2 count. Nobody on, 1 out. The pitch to Duvall. Swing! And that ball is lifted high down the right field line. Yeah, I'd be leaning Elder as far as the game ball tonight. The 3-2 pitch. Whoa, caught looking, strike 3. Nasty slider. That thing absolutely froze Duvall 2 away. That froze me for a second. That thing started at about his belt buckle and dipped in and grabbed the plate. First pitch on the way to Harris is swung on, hit hard on the ground. That's going to get through the hole. And Michael Harris second on again. His bat's starting to heat up. I do miss the days, I'm not going to lie, I miss the days of last year when Harris getting on and Acuna was following. It was almost like you were getting back to the top of the order. Well, that's the answer why Duvall was not pinch hit for, because Jared Kelenick's going to come on, and he will pinch hit for Fletcher, which means you'll either have Guillorme or, remember, Luke Williams was brought up Friday night as they sent Forrest Wall down. Jesse Chavez is warming up as well, along with eyeglasses, which pretty much means if the Braves get this 4 runs or more, we'll probably see Jesse. If not, it'll be Raziel. First pitch on the way. That ball gets away. That is nowhere close to being backhanded by the hind catcher. Michael Harris is second. Scoots on up to second base. That ball kicked away and jetted towards the first base dugout. So runner on second. The 1-0 pitch, down and in, 2-0. Standing on deck would be Ronald Acuna Jr. and flipping over the lineup one more time. Braves 3. Marlins nothing. The 2-0. Outside wide. 3-0. You'd love to put that pressure on the Marlins and bring the top of the order back up. Schumacher's on that top step. But I don't know, do you waste your bullpen in a game you're trailing like this? The 3-0 pitch. Down and away, ball 4. Guess we'll get our answer. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. No, they're going to send Stottlemyre, the pitching coach, out to talk. seemed like a pretty odd thing when you're trailing by 3 in the bottom of the 8th to burn a pitcher just to get that final out. You kind of have to roll the dice if you're Stottlemyre and, of course, Shoemaker, who's actually making the calls, because the last thing you want to do is burn out your bullpen in game 1, chasing down a game that you trail by 3. So they'll head back to the dugout after that quick powwow, and here comes Ronald Acuna Jr. Runners on first and second, both with speed. Anything that gets down into the gap should score 2. The first pitch on the way to Ronnie is a swing and a miss strike, 95 miles an hour right down the pipe. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty pitch. Way outside wide. 1-1. You kind of don't want that ball to get back to the backstop and the runners go to second and third, because then, though he's been hitting well, you'd probably walk Acuna to get to Arcia. The 1-1 inside just grabs, paints the inner edge. 1-2. So Acuna down to his last strike. The pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew it right by him, slider. Ronald Acuna was not ready. We'll be back in a flash. We'll head to the 9th inning. Eyeglasses is coming out of the pen.
How the hell can you wear a Bears jersey at a Packer game? This is worse than when you wore the Air Supply t-shirt to the Aerosmith concert.
And to the rest of you, the non-believers, the underachievers, the tweet and deleters, you guys make me sick to my stomachs, fam.
A lot of people work really, really hard for their dreams, but it's not meant for everybody.
That's why you use auto-tune and I don't.
People like making fun of us guys who still wear cargo shorts, aka purse pants. Well, guess what? I can't wear the short shorts that are in style because I hit an age where my might fall at the bottom. Also, I can hold like 3 beers in each cargo pocket. Boom. And lastly, I always have 2 free hands. That means I can give 2 high fives.
Whoa. You're prejudiced against Tommy Macklin because you know he's a white guy. I don't know anything about him. I just told you he was a white guy. So? That's why you hate him. But you know he's a white guy, so you're against him. Well, I ain't prejudiced that way. I ain't prejudiced against no man just because his skin is the same color as my own.
Yeah, Archie has lots of white friends.
Like other captains of industry, Spalding crushed or bought out his competitors, becoming the largest sporting goods manufacturer in the country. Spalding Sporting Goods, its proprietor said, is converting all America to the gospel of exercise. Spalding ran his team and his empire from the private box he built for himself in Chicago's Congress Street grounds, fitted out with a gong to summon servants and a new invention, a telephone, to keep track of all his enterprises while he watched the game. Newspapers called him the baseball messiah.
Braves Country Radio. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. We'll just do one turn back time today. On this date in 1876, 3,000 fans attend the Philadelphia A's 6-5 loss to the Boston Red Caps in the first ever game played in the National League. That would be your Atlanta Braves. First pitch from Iglesias is as Eyeglasses is deployed. Misses outside. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch swung on, popped up. Converging in on it is Michael Harris. He'll call off Arcia. 1 away. The Athletics Park becomes the new circuit's inaugural event by default when rain washes out the other scheduled games. The only game they attempted to play there in the National League that day was between your Atlanta Braves and what is now the Oakland, soon to be Sacramento, and then Las Vegas Athletics. So that'll bring Jesus Sanchez to the plate. Sanchez takes the first pitch, down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swung on, fouled down over the third base dugout, I should say. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Nobody on, 1 out. Braves lead by 3. The pitch. 89-mile-an-hour changeup misses high and out of the zone. 2-1. Standing on deck is Anderson, then Gordon. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and fouls it back. 2-2. You'd love to see another clean inning by Iglesias. His last outing was a clean inning. Sanchez, 532 OPS on the year. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Pulled the string on that changeup 2 away. That is a nasty pitch, especially to a left-hander. For those listening on radio, that changeup is diving off the plate towards the right-hander's batter's box, and you can't lay off it, especially with 2 strikes. The first pitch on the way, the sinker inside to Anderson, high and inside for a ball 1-0, dusted him back off the plate. That's for Jose Ramirez there, Timmy. The 1-0. Right there at the knees, nasty slider, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. The pitch, slider down and away, 2-1. Marlins down to their last out. Gordon stands on deck. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, roasted back up the middle. And Guillorme's got it. He'll flip it over to first. And it'll be a 4-3 inning-ending, game-ending double play for That's Guillorme. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. No post-game show tonight because I got to be up at the crack of you-know-what. So we'll go ahead and give out the game ball really quick. I think the consensus is you got to give it to Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder goes out, and I mean, come on. Goes out there and fires an absolute gem. 6 2/3 innings, 8 hits, no earned runs. Biggest thing, no walks and 4 strikeouts. He's never going to be a big strikeout guy. He's a ground ball pitcher, pitch to contact. He'll get you some Ks. And you take that first inning aside, he was phenomenal. And thankfully, the baseball gods were with us, and that ball hit to the right side, not the left side of the right field wall, or we're probably going to extra innings. Braves 3, Marlins nothing. Braves will improve to 15-6. The Marlins off to a rough start, 6-18. Y'all have a great night, Braves country. I got to be up before the chickens are. We'll see you tomorrow night, come hell or high water here on Braves country.
You're in Braves country.
Casey at the bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with one inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a K. So upon that stricken multitude, grim, melancholy sat. For there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of all. And Blake, much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley. It rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eyes. A sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air. And Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two! Fraud! Cried the maddened thousands, and answered fraud. But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the bat Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. "7:15" by D.M. Magee, 2024. At 7:14, while enduring the hate, he carried the ghosts and stepped to the plate, echoing down from the great Yankee lore, the Bambino's shadow larger from days of before. Henry brushed back the pressure that loomed, threats from fanatics, knowing records were doomed. Into the box, and here comes the pitch. 7:15, it flipped like a switch. Fans escorted 44 round the bases. Hammer and Hank lit up their faces with smiles that unite as he wiped away tears. He hugged Mama tight for so many years. The Hammer had climbed the ladder to the top. A sigh of relief. Briefly, time stopped. We recall and rewind the impossible dream, that night down in Georgia of 7:15. 7:15 by D.M. Magee, 2024.